Sir, uh, all our external participants, they are joining. Let us start, sir. Swapna, you can start, Swapna.
A very good morning to everyone. It is our great pleasure to have you all here for the AICTE Training and AICTE Training and Learning Academy sponsored FDP on robotics. The objective of this program is to bring together academicians, industrialists, and scholars in the areas of mechanical engineering and to provide an opportunity for enhancing the knowledge in robotics. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader, they set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, always about the goal. Now, I welcome Dr. B.R. Ramesh Babu, Dean, Mechanical Engineering from CIT, to deliver the welcome address.
Sir, your mic unmute.
Good morning, one and all present here in this online webinar jam meeting in these morning hours. It is my immense pleasure to deliver the welcome address in the AICT Training, Learning and Academy Atal sponsored 5 days FDP on robotics going to be held from Chennai Institute of Technology. Welcome to all. First of all, I like to welcome our chief guest and eminent industrialist, Sri P. Sriram, first generation entrepreneur and managing director of MK Auto Components India Limited and chairman of Chennai Institute of Technology. Welcome, sir. And our chairman P. Sriram is concerned. He is one of the eminent industrialists running multiple industries in the city, Chennai, and they are manufacturing the automotive components for different automotive vehicles includes light motor vehicles, heavy motor vehicles for Indian and foreign companies. Precision machining and automated machining facilities are available. So he is the right person to inaugurate this today's morning program. And also the Chennai Institute of Technology is concerned. This college is 10 years old, started in 2010. Within the short span of time, he brought to the position of number 2 under the Anna University. So I taking the immense pleasure to invite our chairman P. Sriram sir. Welcome, sir. Also, it is my pleasure to invite all the eminent persons present here on the screen. Our principal our principal Ramesh sir, and Dinagaran sir, Dr. Dinagaran sir, and the people behind the program. I am conveying my sincere thanks to each and everyone. And this program is going to be very useful for all the participants. And this in this particular program, uh, beyond the expectation, the participants from all over the India, reputed research laboratories and academic institutions, reputed academic institutions throughout the India are participating here. This program going to deliver in 5 days what the industrial people, industrial people also present in this one, industrial people, researchers as well as the academicians expecting from the robotics FDP sponsored by the AICT. Beyond that, it will be there. More practical sessions have been organized as we have the facility to provide practical sessions. All live programs can be arranged from the Chennai Institute of Technology. Welcome all the participants from the different parts of the India. Welcome all.
Thank you, sir. Now, I like to welcome Dr. V. Dinagaran, Research Coordinator, to share a few words about the FDP.
Honorable Managing Director, Sri Sriram sir, MK Group of Manager of MK Group of Companies, and Chairman, Academy for Technology, respected Principal Dr. A. Ramesh sir, and Dean Dr. B. Ramesh Prabhu sir, and all the participants from various parts of the country, and all the heads of the departments of Chennai for Technology. So first of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Atal Training and the Atal Training and Learning initiative by the AICT and for sponsoring the PhD to conduct the 5 days FTP on robotics. This is one of the thrust area. So as far as Chennai Technology is concerned, we have taken the initiative well ahead in establishing the Center of Robotics in the year 2013 itself. 3 years back only, AICT is keep on insisting us to develop the facility in the such areas like robotics, 3D printing, and industrial automation. But the vision of our chairman made the Chennai for Technology to well establish the robotic centers. I mean, well ahead of the instruction given by the AICC and the government. So Chennai Technology has two very good and excellent centers for robotics. One is KUKA Industrial Robotics Center. Another one is Industrial Automation Center. The KUKA Industrial Robotics Center, one KUKA Industrial Robotics with a payload of 60 kg has been being utilized to train the students in 3 levels as well as the industry pupils in various levels. And also the industrial automation lab is giving training to the students as well as the industry, like the industry which are having great role in the national international recruit are coming and approaching Chennai Technology to train them on the robotic areas. So Chennai Technology is playing a major role in training the industrialists, students, as well as researchers in the area of robotics and automation. So currently we got this wonderful FTP on robotics, 5 days of FTP. So I hope this FTP will be highly useful to the participants, those who are in line in the different parts of the country. We have called eminent resource persons from IITs, NITs, Anna universities. So along with their eminent theoretical fundamental knowledge, Chennai for Technology will be imparting the knowledge to the participants through the KUKA Industrial Center of Excellence and Industrial Automation Center of Excellence, through which also their knowledge will also be enhanced. I request all the participants to take away the external knowledge and have some knowledge enhancement through the FTP. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request Shri P. Sriram, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies, to give the inaugural address. Mr. P. Sriram, the founder and managing director of MK Group of Companies, was born and brought up in a middle-class agricultural family. He went on to pursue his AMIE in mechanical engineering after his diploma in mechanical engineering from Central Polytechnic and schooling at Sivagasi. Having a clear version of being an entrepreneur, he started his career in the late 1980s in small and medium-class manufacturing industry and gained knowledge on machining using various machines including CNCs. Driven by passion in CNC machining and manufacturing, Mr. Sriram spent a lot of time in the shop floor, which gave him ample time to understand about machines, materials, process, people and associated costs in running the machine shop. He remained focused in his ambition. Without the fear of failure, he began an humble start by establishing his own manufacturing shop in 1996. Mr. Sriram's dedicated support towards aspiring and young entrepreneurs is very appreciable. He has encouraged and motivated many young people through his volunteer consulting and guidance to set up their own manufacturing shop and facilities. His remarkable achievement includes developing highly precision components like hydraulic steering input shaft for TRW, Japan, and exporting many auto component parts to countries like Europe, Germany, US, Japan, etc. His industry connections help him to establish good business relations and collaborate with world-renowned companies for manufacturing of advanced technology products. During his journey, he has trained and developed many manufacturing engineers. As a passionate engineer, he was concerned about the young graduates passing out from many institutions without skill sets. Having made a remarkable contribution in the manufacturing sector, Mr. P. Sriram focused on society upliftment by developing young engineers with industry-relevant skill sets for the manufacturing sector. Driven by this dream, he established Chennai Institute of Technology, an engineering college affiliated to Anna University and approved by AICTE, New Delhi, India. India having huge proportion of youth population, he believes in identifying and motivating the youths to acquire strong skill set along with the knowledge to create an innovative and interactive environment to realize the dreams of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and to achieve the mission of our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi to stand as a conclusive proof in making India as a manufacturing hub, resulting in generating more jobs, solving unemployability issues, and generate wealth to all the stakeholders. He has also established a skill development center for the manufacturing sector in CIT to train the unemployed youth so as to meet the industry expectations. This skyrocketed his reputation from a brilliant engineer and a businessman to the noble level of an educationalist. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning for all the participants of today's 1 week FDP. At the outset, let me thank AICTE Training and Learning Academy for organizing and giving opportunity for Chennai Institute of Technology to organize this event. I'm sure the events like this will really help the faculty to understand the expectations of the industry and understand more about the new emerging technologies so that they can bridge the gap between academia and industry. Wherever you go, any manufacturing forums, and whenever we meet industry people, again and again, they have been telling and complaining that the engineers coming from institutions are not meeting expectations of the industry. And also in India, many innovations, research and development activities are not happening like in other countries. In most of the developed countries, most of the innovations and the research and development activities for the industries are happening at the academia, sponsored and jointly with the industry. So this kind of initiatives really will help and bridge the capabilities of the faculty and the institutions and the students so that industry can confidently collaborate with the institutions, and also they will get expected deploy with the employability and deployability and knowledge about the application knowledge and fundamental knowledge about the engineering disciplines, the resources, whoever they are hiring for their industry. And robotics, one of the most promising field, especially for youngsters. In India, robotics, especially, again, industry robotics, everything we are importing. Not even manufacturing single robot. Research, development, manufacturing, everything done some other country, we are only using. There are few very good in Indian companies in application side. Industry application side, they are understanding the industry expectations, practices, and the requirement, and they are developing application solutions. Earlier, maybe around 5 years before, these kind of capabilities and startup companies were not there. Now India built this kind of capabilities. Now our application knowledge of robotics in industries, it's very, very fast growing, and these industries in this area sector, many jobs are being developed currently, especially the students, those who are having good knowledge and skills about if they are learning about robotics, they are being employed nowadays. I'm sure this 5 days program will enlighten the expectations of the industry and opportunities, how faculty, institutions, students can leverage for building career and building institutions and developing solutions existing in the society, in our country. Most of the solutions being developed in some other country, as our Prime Minister's vision to develop solutions locally and manufacture and create jobs locally. This is one of the very important in building sustainability, self-sustenance in India. It is possible. So I don't want to take much time. Anyway, after this inauguration, we spend 1.5 hours time for about robotics. I'm going to give lecture. We will discuss more in detail in that. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir, for sharing few words with us. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. A. Ramesh, Principal, CIT, to give the special address.
Thank you. Respected Chief Guest of today's Sriram, Managing Director, MK Group of Companies, and also Chairman, Chennai Institute of Technology. Coordinator of this 5-day FDP, Dr. Ramesh Babu, Professor in Mechanical Engineering, CIT, Professor Dinagaran, and participants. A happy morning to every one of us. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to AICTE, especially Atal, AICTE Training and Learning Academy, for having approved Chennai Institute of Technology for conducting this 5-day FDP on industrial robotics. I think most of the participants are from faculty fraternity. Well educators are to be first lifelong learners. If you want to be a good educator, we have to learn continuously. Like we used to say to the students to learn, like that we ourselves have to learn continuously. Some 10 years back, the students used to get the majority of the information only from teachers. So whatever the teacher tells inside the classroom, that only the students will learn. But the current scenario is entirely different. Students can learn anything, anytime, and anywhere through Google and other web resources. So the student expectation from the teachers have completely changed nowadays. So under this scenario, the teachers first have to understand the requirement of the students, especially what is the skill that are required for the students for their future. So the teacher first has to understand the skill. They have to learn the skill. Then only they can able to transfer that to the students. So where to go and learn the skill? Sometimes all the colleges may not have all the facilities. So many thrust areas are there. All the institutions will not be having all the facilities on all the thrust areas. So AICTE extends their support by having lot of initiatives like this FTP and also like online courses through SWAYAM. So by way of attending this type of faculty development program, the faculty fraternity can able to learn the new technology, they can able to learn the new skill. In turn, they can make their students to understand about that technology and about that particular skill. This particular FDP on robotics, what you are going to undergo for the next 5 days, definitely you'll be having a right blend of theoretical learning and as well as practical experience. As in the welcome address, our professor said, we have a very good centers of excellence in robotics, one with the KUKA robot facility and another one with the industrial automation with robotics. So you will be having a good practical exposure also by undertaking some small exercise through online. So at the end of the 5-day program, I hope all the participants will be having the right blend of theoretical knowledge about the industrial robotics and as well as a good amount of practical exposure about the robotics. I hope at the end of this FDP, every participant will have a good learning experience. And also, I would like to use this opportunity to extend our sincere invitation to all the faculty who are attending this FDP to visit Chennai Institute of Technology. And you are welcome to see our facilities, especially in the industrial robotics. And you can also have a live hands-on experience when the time permits to all of you. With this, I wish this FDP a grand success in terms of learning outcome for all the participants. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Without no more delay, let's move on to listen to lecture by Shri P. Sriram, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies and Chairman of CIT, on the lecture on robotics in industrial automation. I welcome you, sir. Sir would join us within a moment. Sorry for the inconvenience. Sir would join us within a moment, within few minutes. Kindly be patient.
ரெடி ஆகிடும். சரி, ஓகே ஓகே.
என்ன
உங்க கேமரா சரியில்லைன்னு சொல்றாரு. இன்னைக்கு டீன் பேசுறது நீங்க பேசுறதும் நீங்க நான் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ண லெவல்ல இல்லைன்றது. ஓகே, லைவ்ல இருக்கேன்.
So, once again, good morning, participants. So, as we have said earlier, so we have called the eminent professors from IITs, NITs, and Anna universities to share their knowledge in this 5 days faculty development program on robotics. So the first session now is going to be shared by Mrs. P. Shriram, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies. This session will be coming to end by 10:30, and from 10:30 to 11:50, the session will be shared by Dr. Somashekar S. Hiramath, professor from IIT Madras. He will be delivering the talk on robotics, present and future. Then at 12 o'clock, the centralized inauguration program is going to be conducted by AICTE. This program is going to be Mr. Nidin, along with the Minister of State of Gujarat and Honorable Chairman of AICTE, Mr. Dr. Anil Sahasrabudre, will also be taking part on this particular inaugural sessions. So we request everyone to attend the inaugural session, which is going to be conducted at 12 o'clock. And also tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and until Friday, the sessions will be shared by expertise, and also 3 practical sessions have also been planned. So the 3 practical sessions will give you a knowledge enhancement in robotics and industrial automation. So I request all the participants to attend all the sessions, and also as per the AICTE instruction, the certificate will be straight away provided by the AICTE. Hence, those who are having a minimum 80% of attendance will only be eligible to get the certificate. So the attendance is straight away monitored by AICTE. Hence, all the participants are being asked to attend all the sessions almost, and to avail the certificate. And at the end of this program, one quiz will be conducted, and in the quiz also, you need to score minimum 60 percentage. Okay, so the attendance of 80 percentage and the minimum score of 60 percentage will make you to be eligible to avail the certificate from AICTE. So especially a WhatsApp group has been created to interact and to have the fastest communication. So I request all the participants to join the WhatsApp group, and all the instruction will be shared through WhatsApp as well as through mail. So thank you so much. Now the session will soon be started by Honorable Mr. C. P. Sriram, Managing Director of Amico Companies, and how the robotics is playing in industrial automation. So please, I request you to wait for the session.
விடுப்பண்ணாது வந்துருச்சுல்ல எஸ் Dinagar, you can share the slide. Mask. Dinagar, can you share the slide?
Swapna,
Sir,
you can start the slide.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
One minute, sir. We will share you the slides. ஒரு நிமிஷமா
Vinagar,
You can start.
Vinagar,
Sir, please, you can start your session, sir. Sir,
You can take over the session, sir.
can you see my screen?
yes, sir, we are able to see, sir. We are able to see your screen, sir.
Say unmute and speak.
We're able to see, sir.
Sir, we are able to see, sir. Subra, are you able to hear me?
Good morning. Sorry for the delay. Because of some technical issues got delayed, internet disconnected. So coming back to our presentation, as I said, I'm very happy to share my experience, especially in manufacturing and more particularly in robotics and automation. So I have around 30 years of experience in manufacturing industry. So today's my discussion about industrial robotics, I have some slides to share with you and discuss. First, I will be talking about world growth initiatives that will give idea to understand why industrial robotics is gaining momentum and what is the necessity for us to involve in this kind of activities. Next, I will be sharing about the associations of various associations in robotic industry. Then how various countries are embraced industrial robotics and automation, and a few case studies. Then robot manufacturers, then industrial robotics applications, and closing. That's a few slides. These are the growth initiatives. You name any well-developed country or developing country. All these countries are more focusing on manufacturing, intelligent manufacturing, smart manufacturing. In manufacturing, the biggest challenge are reducing the cost and producing consistent products. And because of labor, less cost, cheap labor available in countries like India and China, most of the European and American companies, well-developed countries, they set up their manufacturing facilities in those countries. But now, as you are all aware, because of various reasons, and more particularly because of pandemic situations, all those countries are rethinking, and some of the manufacturing facility they would like to re-establish in their countries. One typical example is USA, and in Europe also there are many countries. Country like Germany, not like US, they have outsourced their manufacturing activities to other countries. But Germany, they retain some of manufacturing facility in their country itself. As a manufacturing, the costs are increasing. Labor costs are very high in those countries. That's why the industrial robotics and applications are gaining momentum, and that's why they have invested a lot on research and development activities. And most of the lines, their manufacturing lines, production lines are fully automated, including robots and other different kinds of automations. Associations for robotics. The most important association, International Federation of Robotics. In these associations, most of the robot research and development companies and also construction companies, application-related companies are partners. So, any faculty, any institutions, if you would like to get connected, understand about robotics, please, you can become a member of any one of these robotics associations. They will be conducting, first of all, you can understand how many robots are being manufactured and what kind of R&D activities are going on, what is the industry practices, and forecast for manufacturing as a growth. There are research opportunities and new technological developments. All these things you can understand from by associating with these kind of robots companies. The very important, my slide is, this is one of the very important slide in my presentation. As I said, developed countries, robot populations are very high. As you can see, in Japan, especially automotive, that blue one is automotive and the red is general industry. In automotive industry, for 10,000 employees, 1,000 to 1,276 robots are being used in Japan. Very high density of robots. Normally, any industry, they measure robot population per 10,000 employees deployed in the industry. So Japan, one of the highest density, and more than this, Koreans, the data is missing. Korea is having very high density robot density than any other country in the world. Then followed by Japan, followed by USA, 1,218, Germany 1,147, UK 606, in China 392, Brazil 125, India 68. If you take few years before, in 2017, China only 92 robots per 10,000 employees. India less than 5. Now 3-4 years time, they have grown. In India, we have 68 robots per 10,000 employees. In China, 392 robots per 10,000 employees. And in the world, China is the country consuming in absolute number more robots than any other country. Why? Because China is the country established manufacturing facility. You name anything being manufactured in China, not only for their country, the entire world. That's why this is not absolute number. This 392 per 10,000 employees is it's a comparative number, not absolute number. In terms of absolute number, China is consuming more manufacturing and consuming more robots and installed more robots than any other country in the world now. Currently, they are consuming around nearly 200,000 robots every year. Like that, their population is suddenly is growing. And in India also, as a country, whole country, we have around 25 to 30,000 robots now. So in India also, 10 years before, negligible numbers only we had. The number is growing. Even though India, at the beginning, they bought 2 robots in 1979, 1980 from Maruti Suzuki plant they bought from Kawasaki. That's the first industrial robot, for my knowledge, brought to India and installed in India. Even though we were some 20, 30 years before, not 30 years, 40 years before we bought the robots, but still India not developed much in robots population and also research and development activities and manufacturing also. Even now also, not even single industrial robots are being manufactured in India, or especially for automotive industries. So it means that plenty of opportunities are there for us to explore. So this is not 2017 figures. In 2017, this robot industry in the world globally, it is growing around 15 to 20% year-on-year growth. And major contribution from, as I said, from China. So currently 1.7 million, we crossed 1.7 million, close to 2 million industrial robots are being installed under manufacturing lines, in the manufacturing lines, around 2 million robots. These are the world's top 10 industrial robot manufacturing companies. ABB, one of the leading robot manufacturer, and they are from, as you all aware, from Europe. In India, they sold many robots. They have very good sales and service network. And Yaskawa is the largest robot manufacturer globally. They are from Japan. KUKA is a German company, more than 100 years. Their entire activities in research and development manufacturing exclusively only for robots, industrial robots. Well established organization, more than 100 years old organization, and they are leader in Europe. In India also, they have presence. Now their population is also increasing in India. Fanuc, again from Japan. Kawasaki also from Japan. Kawasaki sold first robots to India. And Kawasaki supplied many robots, many robot lines to especially companies like Ford. So because of that, wherever Ford is establishing their plant, Kawasaki robots are being applied. Especially in Sanand plant, Ford plant, Kawasaki supplied more than 750 robots in India. And Kawasaki also from Japan. Then we have Epson, Stabile, Nachi, Comsys, Omron, like that. There are many robot manufacturers. And top 10 industry robot manufacturers only I have given here. But this list is growing. Now, there are many Chinese robot manufacturers. Locally developed technologies and started manufacturing. Initially, as you all are aware, they were collaborating with the European and American, Japanese companies. Now they have their own manufacturing facilities. As you can see, no Indian brand is there. Especially in manufacturing, industrial manufacturing, there are machine tools, capital intensive industry, and machine tools playing very important role. In India, we have fairly we have established machine tool industries. But robot industry, we yet to start. This is another interesting figure. More than 45,000 robots are being deployed in Amazon warehouses as of 2016. Now it is crossed around 100,000. This is another one typical case study figures. Changying Precision Technology Company. It's a smartphone manufacturing company from China. So number of employees before implementing robots, 650 in their production line. Number of robots, 0. This is exactly some 3 years before. Defects, 25%. Production per person is 8,000. So one person can produce around 8,000 sets of mobile phones. That is the production norms and very high defects. After robo implementation, automation, number of employees reduced to 60, 1/10. Number of robots, 65 robots, and defects less than 5%. So total more than 80% of rejection reduced. And also production per person increased from 8,000 sets per person to 21,000 sets per person increase. So these are all the advantages for robot implementation. That's why country like even in our country also, we are having similar situations. Not only in big automotive industries, large scale companies, even small and medium companies also nowadays started buying robots, and many robots are working. For example, Ambattur Industrial Estate, a person having 8 machines, 10 machines, CNC lathes, they also buying robots. In my own industry, we have around 250 machines in one machine shop. In that, we have a fully automated around 36 machines. 36 machines fully automated. That is like this, reduced space consumption. Also, 1/10 of employees' strength reduced. We can say, in other words, we may be asking that will create unemployment. No, actually, we are suffering. We are not able to get right people for our running our plant. And now, because of this reverse migration, even more difficult nowadays. And also, consistent productions, very difficult, especially if you are employing, so 250 machine, 250 machine, 3 shifts, it is around 750 operators. If 1 or 2% absenteeism also your line, again problem. So we need to train again. So this is a hell a lot of problems, especially small and medium companies, and particularly in automotive sectors. So automotive sector, some of the components what we produced at my plant are precision components, and also safety critical component. The components like used in brakes, in steering, transmission lines, the fuel injection pumps. Fuel injection pumps are another very, very critical components. Your quality, if you are, say, normally in production lines, we talk about defects per million. If 1 million parts being produced, what is the defect level? So nowadays, customer expectations that should be less than 10 ppm at customer end. At production site, at my plant, it should be less than 20-30 ppm. So different customer, based on their production line and the criticality of the parts, they will give terms and conditions when we get order from them for developing and supplying components. So in terms of quality and in terms of consistent output, if we are deploying people, absenteeism, and also, for example, in the 8-hour shift, you are having lunch break and a tea break like this, minimum 30 to 45 minutes. That you can save by deploying these robots. Even if you wanted to work on Sundays also, it is possible. Without manpower, you can run. I have visited many unmanned plants in Switzerland, France, Italy, Japan, Germany, and even in Korea and other countries. The plants are running again and again. Especially in India, we are, whenever we take decision to buy robots, we always think of investment. What is the cost? Yes. Small companies, small and medium companies, very difficult for them to buy and implement. That's why it's getting delay in India. But now, but long run, if you calculate 5 to 10 years, return on investment and the consistency and the problems associated costs like quality cost, and nowadays most of the companies are having penalty clauses. If we are not supplying the parts on time, then we need to pay. For example, in Hyundai ancillaries, if I am supplying, if my parts 1 hour got delayed, then they are charging penalty 20,000 rupees. So if 8 hours I am stopping line, then you see 1,60,000. That's a very huge cost. So that's why even country like India and automotive sector and the small and medium companies started buying robots. In my own company, as I said, 36 machines are running with robots. This is in CNC line. Now we also have die casting line. That I will explain later. As I explained, industrial robot is an automatically controlled, freely programmable, multi-purpose manipulators that can be programmed in 3 or more axes. Normally, in industrial robots, whatever being used in manufacturing lines are 6 axes. It can be, the robots can be fixed. You can fix it in one place, or it can be movable with some kind of a railing or something based on our requirement. Actually, robota, it's a Czech word. It means a worker of forced labor. So you can force robot to work. That's why robot, from that word, robota, robotics came. So robotics, the branch of technology that deals with the design, construction, operation, and application of robots. Production methods and robot involvement. In a typical manufacturing line, we have productions. Under that, different kinds of productions. One is mass production, batch production, piece production. Mass production means you are again and again producing parts in big numbers. In automotive industries, normally we produce around 5,000 in India, 5,000 components per day, 5,000 vehicles per day. This is a very high number. For example, Royal Enfield, they are manufacturing around 70,000 motorcycles in a month. It means that we need to manufacture 3,000 motorcycles in a day. So we are supplying to Royal Enfield. It means that I need to produce whatever the parts. We are producing more than 25 parts for Royal Enfield. So each part I have to produce 3,000 numbers in a day. It means that I have to produce 1,000 parts every shift. We have 3 shifts. Each shift I have to produce 1,000 components and 25 parts. It means that 25,000 components I have to produce every shift of 8 hours. So then batch production. There are some components we need to produce in batches. So again, if you take Royal Enfield, they have different models. Some models, they are selling only 500, 600 or even 200 per month. So you cannot produce only 200. So for that, we may be producing 3 months inventory. For example, 200 into 3, 600 components we may be producing in a batch. After that, 3 months we want to produce. So this is batch production. Then piece production. Whenever anybody asks, we have to be single piece flow. This is a lean concept and all. So we produce only one piece. And also there are a tool room and other areas. We need to produce only one components or few components. So this is a piece production. So all these 3 lines, robots can be implemented. So automation possible, robot and industrial automation possible. So as I said, in my company, 36 machines, we are using robots. We are producing components using robots. 36 machines, each machine 3 operator per day because 3 shifts. It means that around 180 operators we are deployed. Now we are using only 6 manpower per shift, and 3 shifts only 18 people. Those people are for keeping availability of material, and there are cutting tools you need to change, and you need to monitor the quality of the output produced from the component being produced from the machines, and any kind of troubleshooting. Those kind of activities we have people. Around 90 people we saved. The 90 people saved, and also we saved 25% of space, and our production output also increased. And my return on investment for these 36 industrial CNC machines with some 9 robots we have saved. And the ROI, return on investment, is around 5 years. You could take back the investment, whatever invested. So, the advantages of using robots in manufacturing lines: increased, as I said, increased efficiency. And increased efficiency, consistently you can get. And improved quality. So sometimes we got 20%, 15% quality is improved. High repeatability of products. Again and again, you can produce high precision without affecting quality and quantity. There are places human cannot work, and it is very difficult for them to continuously work. Fatigue and health. For example, if some worker is being employed at painting plants, welding area, it's very tedious work that really long term it affects the human's health, the person who were deployed at that place. So, and some of the areas you cannot, it is not at all, for example, nuclear power plants. Those areas and deep sea area, it is very difficult for deploy human being. So, and cleaning, especially for sewage cleaning, those areas, robots can be used. And longer working hours. So, human can work only 7.5 hours in a day, but the robots can work continuously. You need not to change worker, the robots every shift or every day. You can continuously 7 days, 31 days in a 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day. You can continuously, the robots can work. Investment longer run, it will reduce and reduce the cycle time. For example, one component is being produced 20 seconds. With robots, throughput time definitely you can reduce. And again, another most important thing is skilled laborers not required. You can we can reduce dependency of skilled labor, and that is the very scarcely available in India. And the kind of education what we have, it is not producing skilled labor. Even though Japan and Germany, these are all the countries, well-developed countries, but they have very strong vocational and skill-based education system. They get right quality and capable people. But in India, this is the biggest challenge. And also we are growing very fast, developing such skills. Also another area because of the big numbers, big challenge. Then adaptive to production requirements and flexibility. Earlier, we were thinking that when we go for capital intensive robots and other things, it is very difficult for us to have a flexibility. But now, because of the development in technologies, robots, this line can be more flexible. For example, if you are buying a robots and investing in 1 crore for manufacturing particular component, if any design changes, then it calls for change in your production methodology. For example, if your cycle time is changing, tools are changing, some machine tools changes are required. It is possible nowadays. These robots can be refitted and reused for based on the design change in the component, or you can use these robots for some other line also. It is possible. Easy modifications parameters, very quickly you can program. Just if you program, once you learn the program, you can change the machine, you can teach the robots to work as per your command. And greater safety, because in the industry, accidents are happening. It's bound to happen. Even the well-developed and having very good practice for safety and certified companies also sometimes having accidents, and some of them injury to the people, the worker who were deployed there. So these robots can save. And the most important thing, as a engineer and also business person having a manufacturing facility, this will reduce direct labor costs and also reduce wastages. Wastages in the sense, for example, if you are producing more component and you are keeping inventory, that inventory also another waste, and more rejection means that is your raw material is waste. And if you are having more manpower and keeping them idle and you are not utilizing best way, then your efficiency is reduced. It's like that. There are various mudas, we call it in Japan language. There are various wastages you can eliminate by using robots. So why I am telling, I have put this slide, it means that each and every problems, the advantages of this robots implementation, if faculty and along with your students, if you can take up and you can go and approach a industry, so we will work with you and we will identify the problems. For example, we will improve your line. Like that, you can go and talk to them, and it is possible. And we are very successful in my college, since we have manufacturing and also engineering colleges. we also have a training and development center, especially KUKA and Mitsubishi and other industrial robotics we have. So my faculty along with my students have done a lot of improvement for my plant. I was sharing this 36 machines. For that, when we are placing order to that particular company in India, we put one conditions. So you must involve my students, 8 students, 4 students from medical, and not 2 students from mechanical, 4 from mechatronics, 1 student from electronics, and another 1 student from ECE, and some faculties, 2 faculties. So right from the designing for that line, validating the design, finalizing the design, procurement of the component, because they need to buy a lot of component and they need to develop some parts also. Some of the component they can buy, some of the things they have to design and manufacture. Then selecting the right robots, selecting right technologies, and programming, all these things. They involved my students, my team of students and faculty. Jointly, we developed that line at their manufacturing plant and design center. After that, they did trials at the manufacturer place. Then they shifted entire automation line to my plant. Here also, all my students were with them for installing, erection and installing, and also tryout of the component. Entire line, it took 2 months for installations. They were with them. Though now all the students, those students who were part of this process, well employed in robotics and automation industry. So required skill set, especially for in robotic industries, is basic computer knowledge is very important. And again, before that, let me tell one thing. You need not to be an engineer. Anybody can learn. Mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, electronics engineer, computer science engineer, and can learn. Like I said, robotics, it got some amount of designing and electromechanics, then mechanical, then computer science, digital control of systems, control systems, control electronics, electrical electronics. So for control systems means they need to have drives and controls. Okay, and for everything nowadays digital. So the control system with the digitalization very important. Control electronics, it plays another very important role. So as you see, you can see it's a combination of electrical, electronics, computer science, and mechanical systems. Here, that's why in all engineers, it's a multidisciplinary branch. Anybody can learn. And also another most important thing is, need not be an engineer, need not be a diploma holder, even ITIs, experienced people in the industry can also learn. If not everything, they can learn and they can play some roles. So it is our responsibility as an educator, not only training engineers, we also train youths who are interested in robotics. So basic knowledge is, this is one set of skill set is very important, and PC hardwares and controls, and the programming basics. Any one programming language, it's enough. And electronics, basic component knowledge. There are many electronic components as you are aware. We need to, they must know each and everything. And the electronic circuits designs, that is also very important. Electrical wiring basics, servo controls. Most of these motors, 6-axis, normally 6-axis are being used in robots. All of these things are servo controlled with closed loop systems. And the microcontroller and the programming, that is another important activities. So power electronics also we must know. Say, for example, if you are training a mechanical engineer, he need not to know all these things. Okay, mechanical design, CAD drawing like that, and kinematic chain, material science, mechanical manufacturing, understanding the manufacturing practices, tools knowledge. For example, these grippers are most important in robots. So they have to design grippers. So in the grippers, what kind of the tools they are going to hold, based on that they need to design. So like that, in the electrical side, they can design your servos and troubleshooting servos and writing electrical circuit, designing the electrical circuits, all these things they can learn. Sometimes we need to integrate with the PLCs also. For that PLC knowledge also we can teach. They should learn. These are the skill set required for the students. So types of industries. Robots widely used in food processing and pharmaceutical industries worldwide. Then manufacturing plants and warehouses. This very recently, for the past 10 years, especially in warehouses, many robots are being used. And the textile industry, agriculture industry, healthcare, there are hospitals, even in India also, using robots. Even KUKA robots also being used in Chennai, in one of the very well-established hospital, chain of hospitals. These are the industries. You name any industry, robots are being used nowadays. Hospitality industry, especially hotels, restaurants are being used. After this pandemic, this has thrown wide range of opportunities. There are a lot of challenges. So this is opening up new avenues for us. When I visited Japan a few years before, I visited more than some 10 universities, top universities. All those universities are having one robot at their lobby reception. When I just entered, that robot is asking, it said hello. Then it's asking me to whom you have to meet, what's your interest, all these things. So the robots are being, even in domestic applications also, many robots are nowadays being used. In manufacturing, if you take my own field, in automotive industries, robots are being widely used in assemblies and welding, then painting, then machine tending applications, pick and place, and also packing. Industrial robots applications, arc welding, mostly, especially in automotive, car, two-wheeler, any industries, now welding is not done manually, with the robots only. And arc welding, spot welding like this, and the material scanning, machine tending, as I said, machine tending is the widely developing applications now in India. Most of the CNC machines are being equipped with nowadays robots. Then I said painting. Most of the companies, 90% of the companies now stopped using humans for painting. Hello?
You're audible, sir.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Packing and palletizing. Then assembly lines. So especially in automotive industries, assembly lines are very important. So you need to, for example, in a car industry, you have to fix your wheels and you have to tighten the bolts continuously again and again. If you are tightening, it's a big challenge. The humans, it's very difficult for them to, they will psychologically affected, physically also affected. So most of the assemblies are being done with robots only nowadays. And metal cutting, grinding, deburring, polishing. These are the new areas emerging in robot application. For example, in my own company, we are producing die castings. After this producing die casting, we need to do the fettling operations. So we call deburring also. For that, robots are being nowadays widely used. And these are the challenges. It's not very easy to use robots, replace the man and use robots. It involves some amount of time and investment. It requires understanding the application properly. You need to calculate that mathematical knowledge also very important. For example, if you are removing the burrs, burr means unwanted material stick to the parts. So you need to remove the burrs. For that, when you are employing a human, he can understand and he can put and he can also change his directions, hand directions, and put right amount of force to remove the burr. But when you replace that with robo, you need to properly design. It's a very challenging. Each and every applications, for example, deburring a flywheel, deburring a particular component, hub, deburring a drill holes. For example, in fuel injection, the deburring is very important activity that involve a lot of problems. If you are not problem, because the fuel injection pumps are being used nowadays 2000 bar pressure. So if you small burrs also left out, then it will affect the engine may later on cheese. So for that you need to remove properly. Now inconsistency in the manpower has to be removed, but same time you have to remove properly. It's a big challenge. So these are the challenges as a faculty, as a students, we can understand, we can spend a lot of time in the shop floor and develop solutions for the industry. Then gluing, adhesive sealing, spraying materials, for this kind of application also, nowadays robots are being used. And inspection, especially for quality. Nowadays, customers are very, very sensitive. They are more particular about 100%. We need to inspect the various parameters before dispatching the parts to customer place. For that also, these robots are being widely used. Apart from that, there are many applications other than industries. You can go through that. So this is one particular machine. It's a die casting machine. Being used in die casting industries. So 1400 ton Buller Karat machine. It's one of the state-of-the-art machine in India. These machines cost around 10 crore, these machines. Why I'm telling, if the production stops 1 minute, it costs around 1,000 rupees, more than that. To avoid stoppage of lines, we have used robots. Video available. This is another industrial robotics and automation line, what we have at our college. This involves low-cost automation, pneumatic and hydraulic sensor and actuation systems, PLC programming, robot programming, system integration, smart manufacturing systems, machine vision systems. All these things are part of your industrial robotics and automation. So the KUKA robotic training, since the time is not available, let me run through this. Later on, maybe in the during this course of, they will be explaining. These are some of the, because the robots are nowadays being widely used in industry. Most of the industries are embracing Industry 4.0. You must have knowledge about Industry 4.0. Most of the physical systems are becoming cyber physical systems in the automotive industries. Before concluding my presentation, recently in the August 6th, 2020, Frankfurt, the one press release, they are telling that because of post-corona, the challenge thrown lot of challenges, we need to bring back the economy. For that, robots going to play very vital and very important role. Robotic skills, one of the most sought after skills in forthcoming years. the technology available, it is possible, but the coming years, Industry 4.0 is very important activities, basic requirement for any manufacturing industries. For that, robots plays very important role. I'm available. My contact details are given to you. Whenever if you have anything for any kind of collaborations, technology development, skilling, and problem developing solutions, understanding the problems, or even if you would like to visit our plant, how the robots are being functioning and how academia can collaborate with the industries. If you wanted to understand, definitely you can contact me. We will get in touch with you. Thank you very much. Giving wonderful opportunity for your patience listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing so much of information with us.
This is the machine, the Karat machine, 1400 machine at my plant. It's a huge plant, huge machine. This machine can produce castings with 15 kgs. This robo is ABB robo. Huge robo. 6-axis robo. This is fully automated line. Thank you. Dinagar, you can start.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing so much of information with us. That was a great presentation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your mic is not audible, Dinagar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir.
Dinagar, you are not audible. Okay.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much for wonderful presentation. So you have given some inside view how the robots are being highly used in this automation. So certainly this will be an eye opener for all the participants, and this will help them to enhance their fundamental understanding of on robotics. So thank you so much, sir. So let me check the chat box for any other questions. And okay. So participants, thank you so much for joining now. So we will break the session, and so we will, and the next session will be started by 10:40. So another link is being shared now. So please join using the link. Okay. So thank you so much. So I thank a lot for the wonderful presentation of Honorable Mr. P. Sriram, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies and the Chairman of Chennai Technology. And so the second session, as it was said earlier, it will be presented by Dr. Somasari Hiramat, Professor from IIT Madras. He will be talking on robotics, the present and future. So since some of the participants are unable to join, so let me break the session now, and you people can join the session by using the same link now. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you. So now you can break the